YouTube. Today is it's Tuesday, August 21st, 2012. I don't know why I continually forget the date. And this is my very first video. I've been wanting to get a vlog, video diary, whatever you'd like to call it, started since April, but either I didn't have the time, something got in the way, or I didn't have the courage to do it. Now I've got the time, nothing's in the way, and I have the courage to do it. Now what I talk about in this vlog could range quite a bit, and I'm sorry if my voice is changing. I went to go see Lincoln Park last week, and my voice is still recovering, so sometimes it's probably going to be a little bit high-pitched, and at times it's probably going to drop a bit. Still haven't quite recovered from the massive amount of screaming I've been doing. Anyway, back to the vlog. What this vlog is going to consist of is going to be me rambling about a few different other things. One of them, you never know what it could be. It could be the guys at the back of my wall. I love My Chemical Romance. You could probably guess that. But in all seriousness, one of the main focuses of this blog is going to be one of the main reasons. I got this little doll right here. This is my True Hope doll, Renette. I got her in July, late June, early July, right after I went to go see the Avengers. The green shirt I actually made for her, and you can see she has no hair. The True Hope dolls were designed by MGA Entertainment, if I believe I got the corporation correctly, and the dolls were meant to help girls deal with various hair loss conditions, whether it be from chemotherapy, from pediatric cancers, or adult cancers for that matter, alopecia, or trichotillomania.
Change the scenery, decided to move into my hallway. Anyway, the reason I have my particular True Hope doll, and I should probably point out that this doll is actually, the name of her box was Sophina. I decided to make it Renette because I am a die-hard Doctor Who fan, and I absolutely love the episode The Girl in the Fireplace. So that's how she got her name Renette. The reason I have my doll is because I have Trichotillomania. Trichotillomania is an impulse control disorder that basically makes one pull out their own hair. Some people think it's an obsessive-compulsive disorder. It positively bugs the heck out of me when people say that. I've been dealing with trichotillomania since 7th grade, so that's a good 6 years now. And you have to forgive me for saying a lot. I didn't really script anything out, but this was something that I definitely wanted to talk about in my first vlog. Basically what it is, and a lot of people when I tell them, they want to know, why can't you just stop? Because it's just like that. You really can't stop. You can't stop this nagging, never-ending urge to constantly pull out your hair. And, you know, it took a while to almost, I want to say accept that, because you get so frustrated because you constantly feel like you want to pull out your hair, but there's nothing you can really do to stop that. I mean, there are things that I know that make it worse. Like, I can't have coffee. I can't have excessive amounts of sugar because that just sends the trick into overload. I don't eat Raisinets anymore because I had a huge bag of Raisinets one day and I broke a streak I had going. But you really can't stop the urge. You can try to stop pulling, which this is what this is for. This is my Tangle. I've had it, this particular one, for about 2 weeks. I ordered it from the Trichotillomania Learning Center website. It's white, dark blue, light blue, and green, and it's clear too. And it's kind of jelly. It's got little bumps and nodes on it that it just feels really great to have it in your hands. This is my second Tangle. I have another one my best friend mailed to me about a month ago. Actually, more than a month ago. To help me deal with it because I was nearing a relapse, and she mailed me a Tangle. And I forever love her for that. And yeah, this goes out to her. I know she's going to see this video. The thing with Trichotillomania is it's nothing you can really stop or control. I have been pull-free for about 11 weeks now. It'll be 11 weeks on Friday. And I don't know how I've managed that, because when I've pulled, it's gotten just horrible. I mean, it's never gotten to the point where, you know, I felt like I had the need to shave my head, but for me, I love having the side part I have now. You can't really see it because the headband is in the way. But in April, in June, I absolutely destroyed my ability to do that. I had a gaping bald spot right in the middle of my head, and I went to school like that one day with that showing, and a friend who knew about the trick sat me down and basically let me follow him around for a good 3 hours until I promised him I would tell my mom so I could try and get it under control. And then I had it under control for about 64 and a half days. And when I say under control, I mean I wasn't pulling. I had found little tricks and ways to try and get myself to stop. And then in June, I think it was June 7th, I don't know how I remember all these dates of my relapses, I relapsed in statistics class. My professor was going a mile a minute. I didn't understand anything, and I had a huge test the next week, and I just started pulling. That's the thing, it's an impulse control disorder, but at times it can be very soothing to me. And then when you get up and you go to the mirror and you have this part in your hair, but then there's this gaping bald spot, the soothingness goes away and you realize that, holy crap, I should probably stop doing this. But that doesn't work. I've never been, scared out of it. So, again, how I've made it 11 weeks without pulling out my hair, I have no idea. I've had friends by me who stuck by me and stayed on Skype with me just to make sure that I haven't done anything. And I appreciate that beyond comprehension. And then little things that I found that help myself, it's like the reward system. The Tangle was my 8-week reward. My 5-week reward, my 5-week reward was getting Renette. I got her at the Toys R Us in Times Square. And right before that, I treated myself to pizza, this really, really good gelato place, and then I finally went to go see the Avengers. And again, the reward system just really, really works for me. Now, some people it doesn't work for, but the key is if you manage to go a couple hours without pulling, you should be incredibly happy with yourself. I remember when I first started working on getting myself to try to stop pulling, I'd go a few hours and I'd be incredibly happy and incredibly impressed because I didn't necessarily think it was even possible to not do it. I've changed my hairstyle so many times over the last several months. I had it like this when I started school, and then I started pulling, so I had to start pinning the front part back.
The first picture is the damage done as of the beginning of April of 2012. The second picture is the damage as of June 7th, 2012, and the last picture is the damage as of about a week and a half ago, so you can see there's been definite improvement.
One of the first things I'd like to point out as I'm doing this video and as I've, showed my progress is that just because, I'm not pulling out my hair does not mean I do not have trichotillomania. First of all, there have been certain times, I found myself attacking my eyebrows. Trichotillomania is not just restricted to pulling the hair from your head. Sometimes people pull from their eyebrows or their eyelashes or various other places. For me, I've just always been a puller of the hair from my head. But just because I haven't pulled in, nearly 11 weeks does not mean I don't have trichotillomania anymore. I still feel like pulling, and, it's just very frustrating to constantly have those urges all the time. I could have the most amazing day ever and come home and still feel like ripping out my hair, and it's incredibly frustrating. I use that phrase a lot. To sit there and say, wow, I've had such an amazing day, and still feel that nagging urge. Because it really just does it starts to ebb and take away from, your happiness. You don't want to feel like this anymore. You've had such a great day. You aced your test. You got a new pair of shoes. Whatever has made you happy. And then you get home, or you get on the bus, or you're at school, or whatever, and you find yourself, your hand going up and going, whoop, whoop, and just pulling out hair. My last point, as I continue to ramble on, is that it took me a while to realize that I'm one of millions who has trichotillomania. I didn't think I was the only one when I first developed it back in 7th grade, my mom brought up a trick website and you had me read success stories just so I didn't feel so alone. But last year I met another person who has trichotillomania, and through YouTube and Tumblr particularly, I've met a lot of other tricksters, and it's just very comforting to know that there are others out there who are suffering just as much as you are. And, whenever I see a trickster you post something about they've had a relapse or they feel like they're about to relapse, I always try and help them because I know what it's like to go through that. And I'm not trying to be pessimistic, but I don't doubt that I'm going to feel like relapsing horribly again. It just happens, and as much as you try to control it, you just can't. But for every other trickster out there, you guys are not alone. The rest of the trickster community is with you as much as the Force is with everybody. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, so of course I had to bring up my Yoda. But I mean that. The trickster community is with you guys, and if you ever need anything, we are always there for you. Don't ever doubt that. Today is August 21st, 2012, and I think this has been a pretty successful video. I will be uploading others in the course of the next couple of weeks, I hope. I'm moving away to university soon, and I'm not saying where for quite obvious reasons. So maybe I'll talk a little bit about moving to university, what life is like, just general things like that. So I hope to see you guys soon. Bye!